Shalom, this is Brother W from GMS Detroit. I would like to say all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well, Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. With that being said, I want to get into a quick lesson. And this lesson is concerning a couple of dreams that I had. First, I had one Monday, I think it was Monday, Monday. I got ill at work last Monday and took a half a day of work and came home and took a nap. So during this nap, I had this dream of just a chariot, and it was like I'm explaining it real quick as best I can. It was something like this. It was white, and it looked at like almost like a crab or something, So I'm saying. So I was in one dream, and I end up in this other dream. You know how dreams are. So I'm on my childhood street that I grew up on, and there's me and I think was my it was me and a lady, which later on in the dream turned out to be my ex-wife. So we walking up the street, and then I looked up and I said, "What is that?" Looked up in the sky, like, "What is that?" It's in the daytime, right? And I'm like, "What is that?" And so I'm looking at this image up in the sky, this thing, right? And it comes down, and when it comes down, and it gets closer and closer to me, right? And I'm thinking like this thing is going to actually fall on me, but it comes down close to me, then it darts back up in the sky, and then it come down again, then it darts back up in the sky, and then it comes, and I'm running up the street, I'm running up the street trying to dodge this thing, just like hoping that it don't, like, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, is this thing about to crash? Is it about to crash? But it comes down close to me, then it darts back up in the sky, and it do that like about 3 times, and then it just goes up into the sky where it came from and just sit there. And so I'm running up, like I said, I'm running up the street. Me and the girl is running up the street, and but at the same time, I'm looking behind me in amazement, like, what is this? What is it? And it, like I said, it looked at white like this. Actually, this is a good image of what it looked like, but it had like some writing on it. So I was trying to read the writing, and in my mind, I'm thinking like, is this man made, or is this a chariot? Is it man? And I'm trying to figure it out. And so when it darted up back in the sky the last time, I seen another which like an image of a big ass pirate ship, and it looked like a silhouette of it, what I'm saying, but it's like a big giant ass pirate ship, what I'm saying. And this chariot that was actually doing this darting, I would say it was about the size of just the size of a school, a building or something, a nice high school, a big building. So it wasn't small, and something. So like I said, it was all white, and it like had some black glass on it also and whatnot. And I was trying to look for an image, and this is the closest image I found to it, So nevertheless, and then I ends up it seems like I end up in this room, and it's Apostle Tahar and Apostle Gabar, and we was all sitting on this bed, like, and it's like the apostles was doing some reading or something, and I'm like, apostles, let me tell you about this. I just seen a chariot. And so I went to explain to the apostles about the chariot that I seen, right? And he said to me, he said, you know what? He said, hold on, because there was some other parts of the dream too that I didn't get all up into, which led to this. That led to this me being on the street, on my childhood street. And I didn't really want to get into that just to make the video. I didn't want to make the video too long. But nevertheless, the apostle told me, he said, it was actually, I was telling him about a dream. It wasn't like I was telling him about, I just seen the chariot. I'm like, Apostle, let me tell you about this dream of this chariot I had. So I'm telling him about the dream. And it's funny because it was a dream within a dream. You ever had those dreams? So nevertheless, I done had dreams where I was 3 dreams in. Like I was in a dream, inside of a dream, inside of a dream. This thing is trippy. So nevertheless, I'm telling him about the dream of the chariot. And then it's like my ex-wife, she was there too. Like she had walked up, and as I was explaining it, she also started explaining it. And I was like, you was there? And in my mind, I said, how could you have the same dream I had? I said, you see that, apostle? I said, how could she be explaining to you the same dream? I've never told her about the dream, but how could she be explaining to you about the same dream? I said, how's that? How could she? I said, that's amazing. How did we have the same dream at the same time? I'm explaining to him, and I'm looking at all at the same time. And then the apostle tells me, he said, well, that dream means that you can have one foot in this thing, in this truth, and one foot in the world. You can, what I'm saying? And I was like, huh? And he's like, yeah, you can have one foot in it. You could be in this, you cannot be in this thing all the way fully, And I'm like, oh man, I felt kind of bad. Like, yeah, well, apostle, I'm thinking, I kind of held my head low, and I'm like, dang, apostle, and I'm like, well, I started thinking of things. I started reflecting on myself, like, well, why would the apostle say that about me? And I started thinking about myself, and what the service that I'm giving to the truth, and I'm like, wow, what could make me a better, person in this truth, And I was like, well, yeah, apostle, I probably do come up short on doing my reading, eating the roll and stuff like that, And you try to do everything, your videos, and in this truth, we are commanded to do 3 videos a week, and to get the word out and whatnot. And so you do that, then you get to camp, and then you're supposed to do your studying also too, and start sharp on your scriptures and whatnot. And that's the part that I'm slacking in, is doing my reading. I must admit, I am slacking in my reading. I get a little reading in and stuff, but the more I do, more times just surfing the internet, or what they call doom strolling. I do more time doom strolling than reading. If I put that time into reading that I put into doom strolling, it would make me a better follower in this truth and whatnot. So as me self-examining myself in that dream, I said, well, apostle, I said, do you mind helping me out on my reading? Could you just give me some things to read? Can you just and help me out? And he was like, sure. He said, I don't mind helping you out. And then I was like, and I said, I will give you, I will, give you, I said, when I get paid, I just, give you a few dollars just for your time and whatnot. And he was like, you don't have to do that. What I'm saying? He said, you don't have to do that, And so, I said, but I will, I said, I will, just for you helping me out. And so that's why I said that dream, made me self-examine myself. But then I went back to what the apostle said. You could be in one foot in this thing and one foot. And I started thinking about the chariot. And I said, wow, it looked like the chariot is about to destroy me. Like it's about to kill me. It's about to fall and land on me. You know what I'm saying? And it was playing with me, actually. You know what I'm saying? And I started thinking like, well, yeah, either the chariots can be here to save you or be here to destroy you. You know what I'm saying? Which one would you want? You know what I'm saying? If you're not in the truth, then you will be a 2/3. I gotta say you'll be a 2/3. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not in the truth, it's possible you could be a 2/3 and be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I took it like, because it's like that chair like it's gonna land on me and squash me. You know what I'm saying? And it just kept like coming down close to me, then go darting back up in the sky. You know what I'm saying? You see something so huge coming towards you. You know what I'm saying? You just frozen in fear almost. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, that was the first dream I had. Then I had a dream last night about the chariots, and it was like a whole sea of chariots in the sky. These wasn't like this. These were like glowing orbs, and there was a lot of them. And it was like we was watching it. I was like at a gym or something. I was like at some type of gym, because we was like doing like football drills or something in the gym or something. And it came on the TV. And it was like on the news and stuff. It's like a news flash on all the TVs in the gym. And there was all these chariots. It was a lot of them, just like thousands of them in the sky. And they was just floating in the sky. And it was like orbs of light though. And they was all just, what I'm saying, just all in this big old group, what I'm saying, thousands of them and stuff. And it was, like I say, we looking at it on like a news flash come up on the TV, and we all stopped doing what we was doing and started looking at this thing in the gym and whatnot. And myself, I said, I knew what it was. I'm like, ooh, look at the Lord showing out. Look at it. I'm like, it's time. I'm like, it's time. This thing about to be over and shit. So nevertheless, I woke up out of that dream, and I seen this video. So let's get to this video that I seen, and then we'll hit some scripts. I seen this video and I saved it. Oh, I didn't mean to get there. This is the video I seen it this morning. Our ancestors rolling deep. And it was something like this. I just seen this morning. I had the dream last night, and I seen this video. I don't know if it's AI or not, but
Our ancestors rolling deep. Our ancestors rolling deep.
But this was exactly what I seen on the news, but it was a close up video of it.
Our ancestors rolling deep.
But this is what I seen last night in my dream, you know. But it was up close. It was up closer, you know. You can actually see the
Our
orbs.
ancestors
But
rolling
yeah,
deep.
man, look at that. Look at that. I don't think that's AI either, man. Look at that.
Our ancestors rolling deep.
Wow, that's majestic right there. And let's see, it said ancestor UFO aircrafts flying
Our
over the city.
ancestors rolling
I'm
deep.
just reading what it says and whatnot. So yeah, man. Hey, so I want to cover a couple of scriptures. The first scriptures I want to bring out. Let's get into. I mean, it's so many scriptures concerning the chariots. You know, it's so many of them. But you know, this thing is real. You know. So we can just go through a few of them and whatnot. And we go to Exodus, and we go to 13, and we go to verse 21. And it reads, it says, and the Lord went before them by day in the pillar of a cloud to lead them the way. It says, and by night a pillar of fire. It said to give them the light to go by day and night. So yeah, this is, you know, back in Exodus, you know, hey, you know, the Lord manifests himself as a chariot, you know what I'm saying? To help the Israelites, you know, get through the wilderness and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So it says he took not away the pillar of cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. So to let you know that the chariots are there to help, you know, to help the Israelites, you know what I'm saying? To help them. This is their, you know what I'm saying? This is their, this is their power. You know what I'm saying? This is something that they have. This is something that they had access to. And this is why the heathens want to take you far, far away from this truth. You know what I'm saying? This is why the heathens don't want you to connect. This is why the heathens want you to Hellenize you. This is their whole purpose in the ancient days, and even in this day, they want to Hellenize you, take you away from your power, so you don't have that power. So you don't have that power to rely on. They know that power exists. They know it. You know, the Edomite and the rest of these nations, especially the Edomite, because he's the leader of all these other nations. They follow him, you know, and so they want to be him and they follow him. And so they act like it don't exist. You know what I'm saying? They just have like mum's the word. You know, that's the type of attitude they have. Mom's the word. We're not gonna say nothing. We're not gonna recognize it. We're just gonna act like it don't exist, even though it's right there. You know what I'm saying? But we see in these scripts, we're gonna see in the scriptures that these chariots are prevalent and they are they was there to help Israel. You know what I'm saying? You know, and in time in these scriptures, you will see in times in different stories where in different battles, especially like in the Maccabees and whatnot, or even in Maccabees, the chariots showed up to help, and even in let me see, what book is that? In Joshua, yeah. Where remember they had went and fought and they won the wars. They had won the war, and they had took the spoils or whatever. And then the Lord told them, don't take the spoils. And the Israelite man took the spoils. And then the next war they went and fought, they lost because the Lord wasn't with them. And so yeah, the heathen know that. And yeah, when the Israelite took that stuff, he stole like, I think he stole like a garment and some gold and buried it and whatnot. And that caused them to lose the next battle that they was in because the Lord wasn't with them. And they found it out, like who took it, you know what I'm saying? The Lord exposed who took it, and they wound up killing him and his family. You know, that's how serious it is. That's how serious it is. Like you do not hinder the Lord from helping us, or you do not make the Lord where he don't want to help us with your fucking your greed and your sin and your folly. That's why they say put the wickedness away from Israel. A little leaven leaven the whole loaf. You know what I'm saying? That's why it was so important that you keep the sin away and you keep the wickedness away from Israel. And that's why, out on the highways and hedges, even in our camps, if you get wicked and get caught, found out, we put you away. We get you away from us, man. Because out on the hedges, out on the highways and hedges, we dealing with all these bug out niggas. We need the Lord protection out there with us, man. You know what I'm saying? We did the bug outs. You got bug outs walking up. You got the law walking up. You got laws. The police walking, riding by. And we need the graces of the Lord to be with us always out there. That's why we get. Hey, if you ain't doing the will of the Most High, you doing folly, you ain't in this truth 100%. Just like in my first drink, if you're not doing this thing, then hey man, you could actually be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? You could be destroyed as something that if you ain't got the protection of the Lord by you, some anything can happen down in the highways and hedges, man. Just like a case of point, we had a scoffer come to the camp like on one of like I think it was like in autumn or in fall on one of the warm days and stuff. And IUIC come down. We in Detroit, so IUIC they only preach on the highways and hedges when it's nice outside. But GMS us we be out there. We was just out there yesterday in the brutal cold doing the work. Preaching the word in season, out of season. But it was on one of the last hot days. They was out there with their megaphones and shit and speakers and whatnot, and they be right down the street from us. And so if scoffer come up, when these Christian scoffers come up with a megaphone scoffing on them, you know what I'm saying? And we got 3 camps down there. Why didn't he come to our camp? He bypassed our camp and went straight to their camp because they don't use the name of the Lord. They use Most High Christ bless. They're not using Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. They're not pushing Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? And we already know the scripture says the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and is safe. So we see that. And now we're using that as edification to edify the flock, saying that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. And we were safe because we the one out there using that word. We the one out there using the name of the Lord. So, yeah. Let's move on to another scripture. There's so many scriptures in here dealing with the chariots, so we just go through a few of them. It says, and it came to pass, and they, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. Yeah, hey, so just letting you know, hey man, Elijah went up in that chariot, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we went. That's what we hoping for. You know what I'm saying? Elijah didn't see death. He just went and got swept up by the chariot. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we hope for in this day and time right now, especially when the nuclear weapons come. We hope to just be taken up like Elijah, man. You know what I'm saying? That we don't see death, and the Lord just swoop us up. You know what I'm saying? As the song say, swing low, sweet chariot, come to carry me home. And the Parliament Funkadelic song, Parliament Funkadelics even did the song about the chariots. Swing low, sweet chariot, stop, come, let me ride. Swing down, sweet chariot. Yeah, that's what we hope for, man. Swing down, sweet low, hey, come let me ride, chariot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I would rather go like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to go like Elijah. I don't want to see the death. You know what I'm saying? But if hey, but it take work not to go up by death. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we doing right now. We working on that, not to go up by death. You know what I'm saying? We want to go up, like Elijah did, And that's how we want to escape these missiles, man. That's why we out here doing this work. And like I said, it's just so many scriptures, man. We just going to cover a few of them, man. And we go to Psalms. Let's go Psalms 68:17. And it says, the chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai and the holy place. Yeah, it says the chariots of the Yahweh are 20,000. even thousands of angels. And what we just seen in that video, all those damn chariots, all of them lined up. You know what I'm saying? All of them, just so many of them, man. Hey, Esau, no, that's why you think he's building bunkers, man, to hide from this. But they ain't gonna be able to hide from this, man. It's gonna be just like the chair's gonna be playing Pac-Man with their ass, man. Gobbling their ass up, man. You know what I'm saying? Hunting their ass and shit. Just hunting them down, eating them like dots, man. The chair's gonna be hey man, it's gonna be time for the chairs to, you know what I'm saying, for the most high soldiers to for his fishers to have fun, man. Getting these elites out of these bunkers, man. It's gonna be fun. You know what I'm saying? And to put their ass in this, bind their ass in the feathers of iron and chains and shit, put their ass in the captivity, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking like, well, yeah, it's gonna be enough at least to put them in slavery, for them to clean up all this mess that they made. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's gonna be enough of them. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be enough of them, and they're gonna bring their people back into slavery when they are allowed to have sex and bring forth and bring forth child. You know what I'm saying? So they'll be rebirthing all these Edomites we went to work with and grew up with, our insurance men and ex school teachers and shit that we used to go to school. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker that cut you off at the light and gave you the middle finger. Hey, they at least gonna rebirth them motherfuckers back into clean them into their fucking slavery, man. To carry out their continuous employment, man. Clean up these dead bodies, busting these fucking big rocks into little rocks, busting this cement up, building up the fucking kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? Cleaning these fucking rivers up, cleaning the trash island up. We gonna have them fucking Edomites cleaning the trash island up. However we want, however we see fit. Eat that shit, Esau. You gonna eat that plastic. We gonna make your ass clean. This how you gonna clean. You got continuous point. You and these other nations, man. You and these other nations, for 1,000 years, y'all gonna be cleaning this damn planet up. You know, and you other nations gonna be set back into y'all rightful place with the laws, statutes, and commandments beaten to y'all, and Edomites, y'all gonna ultimately be done away with. You know, you know. So that's the script. That's what the scriptures say, man. That's the truth of the whole matter. So we got the Psalms 91, verse 4, and it reads, it says, "He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thou rest." It says, "His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler." Yeah. Hey, yeah. And those feathers, hey, is referring to something that can fly, something that's made of flight. You know what I'm saying? And those feathers, hey, are the chariots. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey. And that's only gonna be for his elect, man. You know what I'm saying? It says, "Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day." It says, "Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday." And it says, "1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 shall fall at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh nigh thee." Yeah, hey, that's the only that's referring to the elect. The elect will be saved. The elect will be covered by the chariots, man. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else will be destroyed, man. The 2/3, these other nations, especially everyone in Babylon the Great, that's come here to serve out this judgment, man. Why you think all these nations are here, man? Why you think the greedy of them will come here to serve Jake? You know what I'm saying? Then it takes a certain type of person that want to come all the way over here just to serve fucking Jake, man. So that's why we got you all over here. You done fell for the trap. You in a big ass roach motel, man. You done fell for it, and now your ass over here and about to receive your fucking judgment. You know, you in you in what they call the melting pot. And this bitch will be melting, man, via nuclear weapons and the chariots. Say, man, the elect don't have no. Hey, the elect gonna be covered, man. With those feathers, man. Okay, let's keep it on. Let's go to Isaiah. There's so many scriptures concerning these chariots, man, that you cannot, you can't deny it. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny it, even if you try. It says, "The Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion." It says, "And the upper," it says, "and upon her assemblies, a cloud